Welcome back to the Howard Keating Show. I'm Howard Keating, and we're having a great time here in Washington, D.C. The Export-Import Bank has put on a phenomenal event, and it's been very successful. In fact, this is the biggest amount of people that have come here. Over 1,300 people have been through this facility to listen to all the speeches and all the new opportunities. It's been a marvelous show. And you know how we feel about XM Bank. They are the go-to source for small business. If you get an opportunity to go global, this is the company to go ahead and come on through, get your receivables insured, and my gosh, 95% of your receivables insured, this is the way to go. And one of the gentlemen that put this all together and also is going to announce what their new program right now is a gentleman I've known for a few years now. His name is Walter Koscio, and he's Vice President of XM Bank. And Walter, it's great to have you on the show.
Good to be here, Howard.
And you got some good news coming out of your place. You got a new program.
Yes, we do. It's called Express Insurance, and it's a product that we hope will spur a lot of interest and help grow U.S. exports. Basically, it's a means of accessing export credit insurance to protect your foreign receivables. And the key factors are that it's a simple way, it's a convenient way, and it's an economical way to start using a tool that can help grow your export portfolio.
Sure. Well, with this new product, why don't you explain the details of the product? It has a ceiling to it, but it has a lot of flexibility.
Okay. Well, again, we're trying to attract those U.S. exporters who have never used export credit insurance.
Sure.
Unlike in Europe, where most exporters, 80%, make use of export credit insurance, the penetration of this industry in the United States is actually quite low, perhaps 5 to 6%. So there's some trepidation, there may be obstacles, but that's what this product does. It takes away some of the impediments perhaps that have prevented other companies from utilizing it. So what we've done is we've produced a very short application, and besides qualifying the small business exporter, we also are offering free credit indications on some of their prospective foreign buyers and offering free credit reports. And those transactions on buyer limits up to $300,000, we are promising not just a policy quotation, but the approval of those buyer limits in 5 work days or less. In fact, we got our first application Wednesday afternoon. Yesterday morning, we quoted a $500,000 policy for a Bowdoin, Maine manufacturer of medical instrumentation equipment. We approved their first buyer for $50,000 in Argentina, and a second buyer in Brazil is in the works right now. We more than likely will quote our second policy later this afternoon. So we're up and running, and our brokerage community is very excited about selling this product, largely because we've compacted the application. We've added value with free credit reports. Pre-approval of foreign buyers up front is very critical to someone taking this product because they know ahead of time their buyers are pre-approved. And then finally, getting free credit reports and being able to manage your policy online. You can look at your documents, you can monitor your activity. We essentially, with this product, are delivering a ready-to-ship and report product. We're taking away a lot of the administrative burden of setting up the policy up front.
This is terrific for all you viewers out there. This tool is something that you can jump on. Just to think that they're going to go out there and pre-qualify your possible buyers. You're going to have information on the buyers to find out how legitimate they are, and you're going to be able to see the report that they're going to base their decision on. I'm talking about Export-Import Bank. This is a wonderful tool to go ahead. And my God, it brings down the cost, but 5 days approval, Walter. That's great.
5 days or less. Again, the message really to say is let us be your credit department.
Yeah.
The exporter should concentrate on penetrating new markets, or if they're in some markets already, find more buyers. Concentrate on developing the buyers. Leave the credit decision making to us, will set up the policy. You log on, you see your buyer names, you simply enter in the amounts that you ship, and you pay your premiums. There is no minimum premiums. You only pay when you ship.
So there is another benefit. To think that there's a tool like that out there for us as small businesses is just terrific. And in my experience in working with Exim Bank, they're more friendly than you would find at your local bank. But they're here to get a job done. They want to be that back engine for you so you can concentrate on your next sale. Okay? That's the key. You just heard a wonderful way of putting it. We're your back-end credit department. And that's the way you should use them. And they're willing to do that. And all you out there that have had bad experiences with government and hearsay things, this is not the case. You're going to find stunning results when you work with Export-Import Bank. They're quality people. They know what they're doing, and they live up to their commitment. They are here to get this thing done. Now, you aren't going to hear that kind of a thing from traditional banks. They are stepping up and helping small businesses grow. So let's start thinking about going global. Let's start thinking about concentrating on sales. And the rest of, not the rest of everything, but a major part of it, Exim Bank will belly up to the bar and help you with. This is you've done a wonderful job. And I know you for a couple of years now, you know follow through. You got a great department over there. You run a tight ship. So this is, the American small businesses, you're going to be impressed when you come through this process. They are doers and they get things done. And by the way, they're open to other ideas. So always pass that on. They're here, they want to grow, they want to help the exports go, and they will be flexible as time goes on. But my gosh, this is a tremendous program that you have here.
Howard, I also have to add that for those skeptics in terms of selling overseas, it's probably very important to let your audience know that our approval rate on small buyer limit transactions is almost at 90% for a complete application. So we are taking risk, and especially over the last 2 years where some of the private sector insurers had pulled back, canceled, or reduced limits, our risk appetite did not change. Our claims experience did deteriorate somewhat, but nowhere near what would be expected in terms of the proportion of the global crisis that is still ongoing. So our portfolio is growing, we're taking more risk, we have more and more success stories, and we'd like to get more.
Well, what I like about it, too, is that you go to Exim Bank and say, here's what my potential buyer, is he going to qualify or not? And if he qualifies, you're going to get that insurance program that you're going to be able to bring to the bank. And when you look at it another way, that's their problem now. They've already said this company qualifies. You can move on down the track, assured you're going to get paid, at least 95% of your invoice, and move on down and get more sales. Concentrate on going forward. Concentrate on getting your next country. And grow at the pace that you feel comfortable with. But this is a wonderful tool that you ought to take advantage of.
And it's free.
Yeah.
You can apply. There is no application fee. The only fee is a $500 deposit for us to issue the policy, and that's actually refundable should you elect to cancel at any point in time. So it really is at no cost. And at the same time, for those shipments that you do make, irrespective of the country you're selling to, the pricing is fixed. It's by selling term. The longer the term, the higher the rate. But the average rate on a 60-day term is just above half a point at 0.65. And that would be the same price you'd pay on a per $100 invoice basis, regardless of whether the country was England, Vietnam, Indonesia, Brazil. There is no differentiation by country. So it's highly advantageous to a small business selling in, if you wish, higher risk smaller emerging markets. You would pay the same premium as you would for a transaction in a developed country. So it's a very big attraction. And finally, the insurance can be used if you need to finance your receivables. Mm-hmm. Lenders have cross-border risk concerns as well. With this product, we not only can increase the value of the collateral on your loan with these receivables being insured by Ex-Im Bank, but for qualified exporters who provide us their full financials, we can add exporter performance risk protection for the lender. And this will improve your chance of getting financing, especially if you're a small business, and even more so if the majority of your transactions are small transactions, because many lenders are very cost-effective conscious. But with this added protection at no additional cost to the exporter, your lender would be more willing to lend against your receivables.
This is dynamite, Walter. You've done a great job. You got to be proud of the product. I know you got to be proud of the team that you put together over there. They're first class. When you're going to enjoy your experience with Ex-Im Bank, go to their website, go to exim.gov, and take a look at this opportunity. And when you get down to it, you can get a hold of Walter, and he's the Vice President of Trade Credit Insurance. And he runs a tight division, and he gets things done. And you're going to enjoy working with him. Walter, I thank you very much for being on the show. This has been dynamite. Dynamite information.
Yep. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good day.